All right, child, I'm going to end this episode like I always do. Showing love and shouting out. And today, on his 100th birthday, I want to shout out the incomparable Malcolm X. This man changed my life. Reading his autobiography changed my life. I was talking to my therapist, and we were discussing insecurity. And I revealed to her that once upon a time I was insecure because a person like me, my upbringing was weird. I went to Catholic schools from preschool to 12th grade, but nobody else in my hood did that. Um, I lived in a brick house with a front yard, backyard. But also, I can remember going to the food stamp office with my grandmama or drinking milk from Wick, cereal from Wick, eating cereal from Wick. I didn't know what government assistance was. Living in a brick house, you always got food. I didn't know my mama's mortgage was being subsidized by the government for most of my childhood. I didn't know these things. So you're confused about like, yeah, damn, are we poor or do we, what are we? I could play basketball well, so I was embraced in the hood because of that. But I'm also basically a fucking nerd because I love to read and learn and shit. And would read the encyclopedias that my mama has in the house for fun. So the shit was weird. So that would make me feel like I don't fit in no fucking well. Cause I don't fit in with you fucking nerds over here. Cause I ain't soft like you motherfuckers. And I ain't, I got swagger, you know what I'm talking about? But I don't fit in with you motherfuckers that's up in here repping these gangs and out here fighting in these streets and shooting motherfuckers at the local party and shit. I don't fit in with none of you motherfuckers. You grow up listening to these rappers, all these rappers talking about selling dope and doing this. I'm like, damn, cuz going hard, but I don't want to sell no dope. And I don't have to either because I have this great mother. So what the fuck? But all the motherfuckers are getting the pretty ass girls and shit. Hell, that's kind of, the girls want the good girls like bad guys. The shit is confusing. But it was comforting to read Brother Malcolm. And you can see you don't have to choose. You can be both. You can be tough and intelligent. You can be hard and smart. You can be an intelligent gangster. So, Brother Malcolm was one of the greatest inspirations for my philosophy, behind the naming of my company, IG Entertainment. The IG stands for Intelligent Gangster, Intelligent Gangsters. I thank God for him. But I want to remind y'all out there who may be listening, especially if you're a young person. If you're an OG, you need to send this to some young folk now, especially if they're recent graduates from either high school or college. At 40 years old, I am older than Malcolm X was when he was murdered in front of his wife, his pregnant wife, and children. I am older than that man was. His life did not have to end that way. He could have been a part of the go along, get along crowd, but he didn't do that. He used his voice to push this nation to be better. So I'm telling all you goddamn graduates out there that you got to use your voice, your talents, whatever those talents may be, but you got to do it. You got to use it to push this country to be fucking better. It's up to you. It's up to you. Brother Malcolm didn't say, well, I'm I've gained a lot of stature in this nation of Islam here. I can just go around this country, do what Elijah Muhammad tells me to do, and hell, I'm gonna be well taken care of. Shit. Hell, Elijah Muhammad may even pass this thing on to me. If I just play my hands right, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He could have stayed silent when those 4 little girls got bombed in that church, but he was pissed. So he said something. That got him in trouble with Elijah Muhammad. When he ended up being outed by, ousted, I should say, from the Nation of Islam, he could have just held his tongue and not said nothing about Elijah Muhammad, but he didn't do that. He could have just held his tongue and not said and stopped speaking out on America's human rights abuses. He didn't do that. He went further. He started saying, I'm going to take this shit to the United Nations. Fuck talking about some civil rights. Hell, the motherfuckers I'm going to talk to about the civil rights are the folks who are violating my civil rights. Fuck that. This is a human rights issue, and that shit needs to go before the United Nations. He didn't have to do that. He could have just shut the fuck up. This man was 6'4", handsome, charismatic, spoke well, not afraid to speak in public. Shit, he could have made a lot of money just giving speeches, writing books and shit like that. But no, he did not want to pass on a racist, discriminatory society to his children. He wanted to make this shit better. And literally gave his life in front of his wife and kids for that cause. Now some may say, well, hell, no, it wasn't the government that killed him. It wasn't the Klan that killed him. It was black folks that killed him. It was black Muslims that killed him. You better know that shit was sanctioned, encouraged, and green lighted by the U.S. government. Watch who killed Malcolm X. The truth is out there in plain sight. So I'm saying all that to say this to y'all, man. First of all, you stand on his shoulders. I stand on his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying to you, you got to go out here and risk getting blown away in front of your loved ones. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, whatever your gift is, you got to use it to push this country forward, to push your community forward, to push your family forward. You got to use that shit. Now, if your talent happens to be such that it involves taking a risk to display it and to use it to push this country forward, then you got to show some courage and do that. That's what I'm doing. I've said before, goddamn it. Damn, I wish my talent was like mathematics and shit, and I could just sit around here and, just sit in my room and code and make stupid money. You know what I'm saying? Be one of these motherfuckers training AI right now who probably caking up. That ain't what God gave me. God gave me compassion. God gave me empathy. God gave me um, the ability to speak. God gives me the courage to speak publicly, to say what I really, 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 truly believe. God gives me the motivation to read, to make sure that what I say is based in fact. Like, so with all the things that God has given me, creativity, all of that, ambition, everything that God has given me leads me to do what I'm fucking doing here. And I pray to God that it doesn't lead me um, to the same fate as Brother Malcolm. But again, I stand on his shoulders. I stand on Dr. King's shoulders, Medgar Evers' shoulders, the countless, countless, countless civil rights and human rights activists who worked so hard to push this country forward to the point where I worry that using my voice may put my life in danger, but they knew that it would put their lives in danger. You know, so that is progress, and so now it's up to me, and it's up to you to keep making progress, so that me having to be worried about the fact that hey, me using the First Amendment may be detrimental to my safety. I don't want that. I don't want to pass that shit on to my kids. I don't want them to have to worry about shit. I'm not gonna pass that job off to them and punk out and not fight. You know what I'm talking about? So you don't motherfucking punk out. Use your fucking gifts, whatever God has given you, to push this motherfucking country forward. You feel me? I think I heard Malcolm say in a speech or an interview that he wasn't afraid of anything, but I don't believe that. Because I gotta believe that a man who loved his wife, Dr. Betty Shabazz, the way he did, and a man who had children, I have to believe that he was afraid of not being there to take care of his wife and children. But that's where courage kicks in. That he had to have courage to do what needed to be done to make their lives better. Now, the argument can be made their lives did not get better because they missed their father. You can argue that. And because of that, you have to honor not only Brother Malcolm, but also Dr. Shabazz and his daughters for the sacrifice that they all made for us. You know? So let's not forget that sacrifice on Brother Malcolm's 100th birthday. Let's be thankful that progress has been made. But let's be mindful of the fact that more progress has to be made. So all you Mississippi graduates out there, you fresh out of high school, you fresh out of college. Some of y'all are going into the workforce. Some of y'all are going into college. Some of y'all are going into grad school. Whatever the fuck you're doing, use your talents to push this country forward, to make this country do what the fuck it said on paper. Okay? So shout out And salute to one of my heroes, Brother Malcolm. Happy 100th birthday. And shout out to all y'all real ones out there. This has concluded episode 226 of the realest, most entertaining show in the game. Put it on something. I appreciate y'all for fucking with me. Please continue to do so. Follow me across all social media platforms, especially right now. I'm trying to grow my IGENTLLC Twitter account right now for business purposes. Trying to get my TikTok up to 10,000 followers so I can monetize that. Join the channel, y'all. On YouTube, subscribe on Instagram. I need your support. And with your support, we will change the world. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all as always. One.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?